Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Realm of Ori. In this video, we will continue with Volume 15, Chapter 4, The 8 Gates, Part 1. And before we start, this video contains spoilers from the Tensura Light Novel. And by the way guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notifications for upcoming videos. So without further ado, let's get into the video. After Laplace left, Diablo was the only one remaining, and everything went according to plan, much to his joy, and his laughter grew louder. While keeping a close eye on the beloved master, he is also thinking about how he can utilize it as a reference in the future. Diablo couldn't help but inwardly giggle as he realized what the master still lacked and how he planned to make up for it. No way, Lord Rimuru could be lacking. Appropriate now, the most essential thing is to figure out what action I'll do next, that's right one. Diablo's mind wandered, yet all he could think about was how he might help Rimuru. And he hadn't joined the battle because he had a different plan in mind. Except for Lord Velgrind, there should have been little prospect of a bitter conflict if I had gone to war, but that would have been a waste. Benimaru, in Diablo's opinion, was still growing. Even if evolution had given them a huge gain in combat capability, fighting their foes is the quickest method to become very powerful. This wasn't just a problem for Benimaru. It was a problem that all of Rimuru's subordinates who had been given power had to deal with. Lord Benimaru must have read my thoughts, for he isn't complaining, implying that means he probably feels the same way I do. Although it was difficult to perceive on the surface, Benimaru was a belligerent, although not to the extent of Diablo, and he enjoyed fighting the powerful. I'm excited to see how he develops. It was Diablo's opinion. Lord Rimuru's commands were absolute, and no one was to die, implying that there was only one way to victory. Whoever does not die survives and then surrenders his or her bones to a greater power. Diablo did well in this regard by leaving no stone unturned in his mind. The simple gift of power is meaningless. One can only truly grow and flourish by obtaining the ability through one's own efforts and enjoying it to the utmost. This is the point at which the transformation will occur. Give them the enemies and let them annihilate them. The growth that follows is exactly what Rimuru desired, according to Diablo. Kufufufu. For the time being, Testarossa, Carrera, and Ultima might imagine a tough combat based just on strength, especially since Carrera was so troublesome, and it would be a nice experience to have a hard fight here. Make sure you live, because if you don't, I'll kill you. Kufufufufu. After seeing the duel between Rimuru and Velgrind, Diablo's excitement reached a new high. The near-guard knights were assembled on the Emperor's flagship's outer deck. Their fighting spirit was sparked by the presence of Imperial guardians like Velgrind. It would definitely bring victory if it were Lord Velgrind. Ah, we're not going to lose either. Win here, and in one breath, soothe the Western countries. Exactly. Our empire is on the verge of becoming a reality. Long live the Emperor. Glory to the Emperor. Never refer to it as a vast deck where opposing thoughts meet. The enemy was then identified, properly positioned. Are you coming, Demon Lord's minions? It was doomed to your loss from the minute the wicked dragon Veldora was taken away. Some knights let out a sneer like that, but the majority remained silent and unsheathed. The reason is straightforward and simple. They regard the enemy's arrival as a threat. They're also aware that this is a battleground, and they'll react accordingly. They just don't realize it yet. Desperation had taken a step to the side. It is the time of their death that they realize this. Testarossa glided gracefully through the air, a bored expression on her face. The target flew on board the ship and saw the knuckleheads raising their swords. This individual is dissatisfied. I've noticed how we're still attempting to test you. Benimaru was deafeningly quiet. Benimaru's thinking circuit is the oddity in the eyes of someone who truly goes beyond common sense. And, as though to demonstrate his point, Testarossa moved. It is foolish to despise the powerful. Because they are bereft of joy. Before they are overwhelmed by dread, let me reward them with mercy. Testarossa cast the spell that engulfed the entire airship in effect without hesitation. Nuclear strike magic. The blessing of death is the name of the spell. The ultimate prohibited sorcery that annihilates the soul, and spreads its tyranny mercilessly. The dark sphere that envelops the airship and the death that descends within it is the result. The people inside the ship were nearly dead, bathed in the light of the demonic death that had brought death to all life. General Samuel, who had been rushing around in pre-war preparations, did the same after ending his contact with Gladim, breaking his breath without even realizing what had happened. He wasn't as lucky. Unfortunately, reality is harsh, and in the face of death, all beings are equal. What a surprise. We've ordered her to make the first move, but then we won't have a chance. I'm trying a little too hard not to ask you to do it. Nonsense. You're thinking, in order not to have your prey taken away, right? I can't believe I was taken off guard like this. Benimaru-sama, as anticipated of you. It's been a while since I've received a compliment that didn't make me smile. There's nothing wrong with joking around like this. That was a lot of labor for Benimaru. The two people who were late drew a lot of attention. Do you want to stay, even if it means taking our share? It's a blunder. Diablo should have just ignored it. It's the proper course of action. You're nowhere near it. See if anybody is still alive by looking for aura. Exactly. A weakling capable of being vanquished by that level of attack is unfit to be my opponent. Congratulations on a job well done, and kudos for this screening. Your Eminence, I am humbled. Only those who preserve the suitability of magic or spiritual creatures may bear the blessing of death. With any luck, an immortal will live to see another day. Whatever the case may be, it must be the strong one because there were still survivors on board. Despite their disappointment, Ultima and Carrera had no method of expressing their dissatisfaction. After realizing this, decided to back off honestly. As a result, let's go. The raid began once Benimaru gave the order. The Imperial Near Guard's corpse-ridden knights were seen by a line of men descending from the airship's outer deck, whose bodies remained as evidence that they had fought to the death. That is to say, individuals who can be considered heroes in their various countries have reached the conclusion of their journey. No, don't. I'm not ready to die just yet. There were also those who reached for the void in a desperate attempt to bite the vitality. That life, on the other hand, was no longer like a candle in the breeze, and neither the restorative potion nor the restorative magic could save them. From the moment of conflict with Testarossa, these men's lives were counted. Really, in my opinion, it is still a waste. A man of such quality must sing a beautiful hymn. Do not say something like that. Someone is approaching us to say hello. The flagship's bow portion is ahead of Testarossa's fingertips. There are people who sit atop the Empire's throne. Emperor Rudra and Velgrind, who is still sleeping. Kondo stands on both sides of Damrata. Rudra is surrounded by a group of 4 men and women. It is a wonderful honor to be welcomed by the Emperor. Before Rudra could answer, Benimaru brazenly shouted the news, and Kondo and Damrata were about to take a step forward when Rudra stopped them with one hand. There has been no harm done. It took nearly 2,000 years to collect the parts, but that's all that's left now. Rimuru, as the Demon Lord's agent, I'll let you react. That's incredibly considerate of you. What is the point of coming here, then? Nothing, it's simple. I shall make the request on Rimuru-sama's behalf, despite the fact that I am not the lone agent. Stop all combat actions right away and surrender unconditionally. We'll be able to put an end to the hunt if we swallow the terms honestly. What happens if I say no? Lord Rimuru has given me orders to destroy you. Let us fight till one of us is absolutely exhausted. On the other side, Benimaru said internally, we aren't allowed to die. Because the opposite side of this heart has no way of knowing, the Imperial side can't help but be angered, leaving just Benimaru's arrogant attitude. There was no reason for Rimuru to back down now that he had already ordered a kill drive. All it takes is a single touch. Someone was moved, and there's no better word to describe the atmosphere. Velgrind, who had been peacefully asleep, abruptly opened her eyes and leapt to her feet. Rudra, what's the matter? What the hell is going on here? With just a cursory glance around, Velgrind was able to make sense of the situation. Regardless, they ignored the Benimaru and continued to narrate, assuming that their own problems were more pressing. My other body has been imprisoned by Rimuru, the Demon Lord. I've decided to send the electricity back here first because breaking the barrier will take a few minutes. At this particular moment, Rimuru sealed Velgrind with the heatbreak prison. Despite the fact that Velgrind had only moved because she believed she had room to spare, the presence of Benimaru and the Demoness 3 gave her a sense of impending doom. That's Lord Rimuru. Neither of us can afford to lose. Right now, he looks to be focused on Lord Veldora, and Lord Rimuru will very certainly return Lord Veldora. It's incredible that he can fight both Lord Velgrind and Lord Veldora at the same time. In reality, he is. To be honest, I didn't expect him to have this much power. To put it another way, my lord is unpredictably unpredictable. Because they were aware of Velgrind's might, the 3 guys spoke with more authority. They still have a hard time believing it, to be honest. If you fail, you shouldn't have been fooled by Diablo's tricks. Yeah, that man was fully aware of what was about to occur and decided to watch the conflict alone, which is terrible. Benimaru, on the other hand, is sliding stealthily out of sight, taking advantage of Moss's superb battle observation. On the other side, the Imperial power was in shambles. There's no way. You're a formidable opponent. Emperor Rudra, whose emotions had always been out of place and who had always been cool and collected, couldn't help but stand up and yell in amazement. He had previously followed Kondo's instructions and held Rimuru in high regard, but he still thought Rimuru was less frightening than Veldora and despised his opponent. Kondo is also well aware of his error. Being on guard isn't enough when one's attacks are ineffective. Whatever happens, I'll protect His Majesty's body. Damrata had seen Demon Lord Rimuru as a threat from the beginning. Damrata dared not to be careless in the least, putting every nerve in his body to work in order to protect the Emperor in any circumstance. Malcolm and the Four Horsemen had both lost their ability to think properly as a result of the unexpected turn of events. Even someone as powerful as them couldn't see the full scope of an absolute's power, such as Velgrind's. Even though Velgrind understood the Demon Lord Rimuru's strength, she knew it would be impossible to keep them unmoved in such a situation. Is this a showdown? Wouldn't it be nice if I took you all down and used you as a bargaining chip to bring Demon Lord Rimuru to his knees? Yeah, let's show our strength right now. Yes sir. Rudra's choice calmed the Imperial Knights, his words resonating and directing the soldiers' thoughts toward peace. Well, I assure you of victory. Velgrind smiled magnificently. Are you guys all right with that? We have won this battle, and the scourge will be eradicated in the future. Good. After that, ideally, there will be a fun fight. Velgrind extended her palms to the sky with those words. Then there came the formation with 8 doors. In the air, 8 gates appeared, one in the middle of each side.